Hello guys, welcome to my channel again, and this is gonna be the third part, also the final part of the Third Tuesday games analysis. Um, it obviously is a bit slow, right? Considering that the Third Tuesday will play very soon, so it actually feels a bit weird that we are uploading, I mean, the Third Tuesday last week. But okay, at least let better than never, right? And also, I really want to make things good for you guys to learn, and also, so you guys can enjoy things and I can be able to explain things well. Okay, so this is the last part here of Tower Tuesday, and as mentioned earlier, the third part will be from game 9 to game 11, right? Apparently, this will be the biggest, like three biggest game of the event, when my opponent will be very, very tough, and you know their own decisive games to decide the winners of the event, isn't it? So, to sum it up, like the first two parts, I got like 8 out of 8, in the first 8 games, which was, very nice, but not without fortune. I just tell you that. So here, coming to game 9, I got 8 out of 8 right here. So I met Burnick, who is also a very strong player and also a great streamer, right? And he got like, I think, 7.5 out of 8. So this one will be a very close fight. As you can see here, the rating seems close, right? Let's go to the game right away. It was white, it was black here. In the game, play e4. e4, e5. Normally and lately, I have started to play e5 a lot, and I guess that although I was known with the Nimzo which Sicilian, but now I start to play less. Mainly because of the fact that now people they kind of know what to do against that line, sadly. So let's go to the thing here. So he went for the bishop opening, which actually is a very, I think, common line, rather than the mid idea on f3, right? This one actually is pretty fine as well. The idea here is that he may want to play d3 and f4 early, maybe without the need of going knight f3. Obviously, this can also lead to the Vienna variation. Also, you can like d4, even knight to f4, and plenty of different things. In the game, I went for knight f6, d3, and I play c6. Obviously, I can also play here or play this, but this one I think is the most direct route to go for equality. In the game, f3, d5, b3, and a5. Obviously, I think it's not like very the main line, but it's like a line now that is known to give black direct equality. I can also play here or play here. Both should be pretty equal. But in the game, I knew the line pretty well, so I play pretty quickly here. a5. The threat is a4. So if you play knight e5, for instance, right? a4 and bishop is trapped, isn't it? If you play e5, it is the same here and here, right? So in the game, play a4. Checks. d2. I think the main line is c3 when I can bishop here. Castles and castles when I think I should be fine with my positions. After that, I play like maybe bishop here, 97, rook e8 with I think a solid center. In the game, he went for bishop d2 right away. So here, I guess the main thing to play, I assume, is castles. I think so. It's the castles here, I believe. Castles, and then I can play maybe like rook e8 or d4. Both should be, I think, pretty equal, but I guess I will play here if given a chance. So in the game, he decided to go for the pawn, which I guess is a bit risky. In the game, I was ready for that. Text, should be 4, text, and knight e5. I suppose that he wanted to win at own cost, and also here he realized there's like no way I can win back the knight here, right? Here I can play d4. So you see, I cannot win back the knight. But in the game, just play here. d4, one, castles, text. So, let's talk briefly about the position here first. The thing here is that, as you can see, my pawn structure is a bit weakened, right? Especially in the queen side. But the thing to compensate here for me is that I have very great pieces activities. Also, my pawn here, although can be a weakness, but it really is restricting white pieces the knight, right? Knight d2 can be the best play, but I can bishop g4 and then queen e7 and get e5 as well, right? Which I think I can be happy about that. In the game, queen e4, e4. Also with tempo. Queen d3, and here I can play bishop g4 here, which the engine indicates, which is press move here. In the game, I went for something easier, I guess. b6. As you can see here, this looks fair as well, right? So in the game, ready to this here, queen h3. If I take here, so it doesn't come something special. So now I'm already up on time a little bit, right? A little bit. But here I realize that I'm in like kind of, I think, crossroad. I should take the bishop rook or not, right? Or what should I do? So I calculate something here like rook e2, rook d4, even here. But take here knight e4, I realize that it doesn't really give me much. In the game, after some long thought, 1 minute and 5 seconds after rook e2. f3, queen e7. Just activate in the e file. d4. Here I suppose should put rook e1, which should lead to equality. Like this is what I calculated. Like here e8 takes, and I play like I think bishop e2. And here I think c5 with I think kind of approximate equality. Somehow the pin here is not that scary, and I can play it later on, which should be I think give me decent play. In the game, he made I think a slight inaccuracy. Knight e4, rook e4, attacking both the knight and the rook at the same time. Rook e1. The thing here is that knight e5 looks fair, right? But then queen e5, and somehow his piece is still got in trouble. Also, one thing you can't forget is bishop c8 as well, right? When the knight is also pinned to the queen. So in the game here, he played rook d1, rook e8 here, and in the game I threatened rook e1 with backrank issues. The best idea here is to play knight f3, because just bishop e2, and now this is already very weakening. Take here, queen f3 allows mate, must play here, right? And now I'm pretty sure I can earn, like, I don't think decisive, but a huge edge for black. In the game, he blundered a nice tactics here, which I think is pretty typical. g3, rook d4. I think the engine get this like 2 exclamation mark. Rook d4 and queen e1. Queen e1. This is the whole idea of my sacrifice. You must take here. I mean, if you play queen f1, just take it with bishop, you know, which doesn't change much. So in the game, this one comes here and bishop f1. Now I retake. I check him on f1, and I threaten queen to win. Threaten to skewer the queen, right? Obviously, king g1 is made right away. We must play this one, and now I'm up a piece, and up on time as well. So in the game, it's kind of clear he is down on time, but he needs to win, right? So in the game, he's still trying to play on, not resigning. Should d5. d5. I think also a strong move here. I think after like 22 seconds, I realized that this is not that easy. My pawns are pretty weak and can be eaten easily. And if I let all the pawns being captured, I can't win easily. For instance, rook d5, right? I rook d5 here, and now this pawn can become under pressure, right? When the win is far from trivial. So in the game, I decided to go for g5. Looking for the king on f3, which I think will be very annoying to deal with. So in the game here, should be 3. Obviously, he can't play here, right? Before it's impossible. So now my threat can be like h5, bishop g4, or even here, with some attacking the king. Between the game, f5. This is not a threat. King e2, and g2 I mean, and g4. I want to attack with some small materials, which I think is a very good idea. In the game, so f4, e2, g1, and now I start capturing pawns. Takes. Before, here defend the pawn. I mean, I decided to play cautiously in the game, so I was overnight from this point, right? I guess my conversion is not fully smooth, but the win is never in doubt. In the game here, so just some moves here, going around a little bit, right? I guess due to some scramble and some nerfs, I didn't convert very cleanly. After some moves, I decided to move the knight to cover the things here, and then see my knight here, right? Can come to here and tackle the d4, f3 in the game. So I h5 here, giving the pawn, here and here, right? And finally, my pieces get in. And gonna want to defend here in the game, so I just play here and then click on e4 for the pawn. When obviously no defense can be played, right? So in the game, this is winning very very quickly. I missed several ways to finish him like quicker. For instance, here king g3 is mid on the spot. But I didn't see that. I was just like, okay, let's play cautiously. e4. Here f4. Here king f3. Here knight f5 is also mid on the spot, but I don't even see that, to be honest. Knight e2 in the game. King h2. King f2. I can go for the mate, but just like out of the pawn, you know. King rook here. g2 and you see, right? I still go for the pawn, which is what I think is simplest. In the game, he run down in time, but this is already a loss. Knight out of 9. What? Ahead with e4, right? So now, let's move to game 10, which I think is the most important game of the event. So I play with nobody rather than Hikaru Nakamura, who obviously is one of the best players in the world, best player in Cheat.com, and who will play in the candidates this month, right? So, this game is important. I'm pretty sure of this game, so I got 9 out of 9, and I am 1 point ahead of the field. There are like a few players with like, I think 8 out of 9, including Hikaru. So, I think if he wanted some chance to win the event, he needed to beat me at own cost. And obviously, I'm in a good form. I don't want to lose either. So this will be a fascinating battle, isn't it? Let's go to the game. The game here, so I went for my trusted London, which I guess is good. To be honest, I wanted to avoid London against him, since many times I was told that, I mean, he didn't really like my London, right? Or he wanted me to play some more lines, which I knew, which was like good for me. But here in this game, like, such an important game, right? I wanted to go for something I knew the most, and something that maybe gave me the confidences, I guess. So in the game, okay, let's go for the main line right away. h7, e3, okay, d2, h3, okay, just like some no actual thing special. Here, queen c8, queen e2. In fact, at this point, I can tell you I felt bad. I think here I should play e4, which can give me, I think, a slight edge. The reason is that in the game I just see he wanted to play bishop here, you know. That can cover my, like change my bishop here, which is good for him normally. But I can play e4 right away. Play here, right? Just gonna text and play e5. When suddenly I get some strong pressure in the center, like here for instance, right? Text, and then e4, then can play like e1 later on as well, when white is clearly having an edge. In the game, I have queen e2, which actually I regret later on. d5. And now, all of a sudden, I could not play e4 easily, right? e4 just did the traits, which I don't really like. So, in the game, I decided to go for the rook development, d1, c1, and c4. As mentioned earlier, he need to win at own cost, so he was the first one who went for, I think, complications. c2, 5. He closed the center, and his plan is to attack me on the queen side, right? I guess here I should put e1, preparing for e4. When the game suddenly I went for the family push right away, but I didn't prepare for that enough, I guess. e4, text, here, and this, and then this. The engine claimed that this is kind of dead equal, although I have like some strong closest squares here, right? Also me here, but then this knight is very very good looking and very well placed. I could not really kick it away, and his plan is very clear. So although the engine think it is only equal, I don't really like my chance here. In the game, I play this one right away, trying to the bishop here. We can his king side, f6, bishop here, d8. And now it is when I start to go wrong. I guess my nerves start to play a crucial role in this at this point, and also I miscalculated too. c5. Here, I think if I should play bishop g3 and then like rook e1 and doubling rook here, for instance. Also, if I can play even knight e2, knight e4, and c5, I think I'm okay. This pawn can become witness, right? It's like I managed to provoke him to play f6 earlier, and now the pawn here can become a target. I guess that black can defend the pawn fairly simple, honestly, but at least have some clear idea to attack, right? In the game, I messed it up, sadly, c5. I missed e5. In fact, I did see e5, but I really underestimated. I was like, okay, I knew this can be a thing, but I did not think it's like something very, very strong. But here, at this point, I start to sink into deep thought, and I realized right away that I was worse. Somehow, his idea is very annoying. Knight 4. Knight 4, right? And if I play something like, let's say g3, to prevent that, you can play f5. And take here, obviously, it's impossible, right? As always. And now you can play bishop here, for instance, try my queen, or even e4, you know. But suddenly, I will be very, very passive in the game here, so I don't even know what is the best way. The engine wants me to play rook a1, you know, which obviously I wouldn't have had that, obviously. In the game, I played bishop a3, rook e1 first, knight 4. Although I spent 1 minute and 20 seconds on this move here, I made another blunder. In fact, in my calculation, I spent most of the time to think of this move, which looks good to me, you know. I can take the pawn here, but double attack here. Sadly, I missed g5. Another intermezzo. I must play with g3, I guess so, right? So rook e8 here, bishop here, like e4, and then now I think I will lose material. There's like no way to avoid it. Also, my pieces became super passive. For instance, to here, right? And this looks tough on a roll. If I play bishop f4, I take with the g pawn, and now I lose a piece, right? So in the game here, I realized that I was already much worse. I sacrifice and change. Here, take, g5, push, a4, takes and takes. So, at this point of the game, I was not happy. In fact, I can remember that I was like, you know, pretty pissed with myself. Like, okay, I was getting 9 out of 9. How can you play that, man? Like, I was pretty disappointed with myself. Things so slow, and once again, was in trouble against Hikaru, who I normally always lost against. So somehow, but then I decided to, okay, let's calm down and still trying to play the game. And I realized that, okay, it's not easy for him. Somehow my knight here can be able to block his attack on d2, right? And then it is doing a great job on e4. He could not, I think, be able to dislodge it easily. And also, I think I can try and build a fortress. In the game, I can say that I am happy about my defensive resource. And I think I can give credit to myself to defend, I think, like, resourcefully in this worst game downtime, right? Game here, and I'm trying to bring bishop to e3, defending things here. We have 2, and as you can see here, my time is also not going down so much, right, anymore. d1 in the game, should ropes here actually. Here, queen e2. The engine put it out at queen e7, give him an edge, but I don't know. I mean, in the game he went for a different option, which I think is okay. d5, b3 in the game, queen c8 here. In fact, here white had a nice idea to go for the counter play, which I would not think about, which is h4. Take the pawn here. Black cat must take this one, but this one actually right away. When suddenly I have some counter play. Take here, allow this one, right? But I guess that actually is pretty tough. When I am already defending passively and I'm down in time, I don't want to go into that kind of complications, right? So in the game, I decided to keep on defending tenaciously and trying to remain the same defending setup before. b3, c5 in the game, queen f5, e3 again, you see, right? Just simply putting moves. Also prevent him from getting to f4 as well. F8 in the game, c1, e7, In the game, I think he went also for a reasonable choice. He want to play this one, right? Which I think is a way to crack through my defenses. A4 in the game, h5, takes, knight g3, here, knight should d2. At this point, I was so down in time. The best idea to defend is just like knight a4, takes, and okay, this one. For me, this looks scary. I feel like my king can get mated very, very soon, and it is unwise to open up on the files, right? So in the game, I'm down time as well too. So just play quickly here. Should be 2 in the game. G4, knight e4, takes. But now my pawn structures are severely damaged, right? Severely damaged, and obviously I'm worse. Actually, I'm losing. In a5, G2, defend both pawns here. H4, should be 1. King f7, f2. Queen here, h2, g5. Just some very natural run by him though. h1, f4, e1 here. In fact, here if I can play this one, which e3, I can resign. Should e3. Which turn this one, right? Exchange queen is never a good thing for me. But if play here, for instance, right? He takes queen f2, and now I guess I can just play rook d1 and then like rook a1. When I have no card to play, and in fact I'm in some kind of zugzwang. Now here is impossible. Now c5 queen b1, knight d2, cutting rook a2 for instance, and this is kind of, I think, losing for sure. In the game, he didn't fight luckily. He played queen f5, attacking my pawn again, g2, and rook d8, which sadly is a slight mistake. I guess that he missed that I can take it on h4. I think the simplest way is to play here first and then play here later on, which will make more sense in my opinion. In the game, so play here, h4. The thing is that suddenly, if you play like here for instance, right, I got the fork. So now he must be a bit careful. In the game, so checks, g3. And now in the game, I don't know. I guess he just like get the lie or what happened, I don't know. But I got extremely lucky. He played this, which allowed the fork. Suddenly it was a turntable right away, right? I guess the way to win here is also much harder as well. The engine claim for queen d7 and then go for queen d3. Also rook h8 at the point as well. But this one like even h4, queen d3, queen f2. I think it is far from easy. Considering that his king now is also pretty weak, right? So I guess the win now became somewhat harder. In the game, obviously I got lucky here, right? And yeah, this one, and the free queen. And now I'm down in time still, but the conversion here is pretty simple. So in the game, I convert pretty smoothly, I suppose. Here's the pawn, push, the passer again. His pawn is not doing anything at all. Check here, fit the king away, here, b7, and here this one. And he resigned. I win the rook, and then the game. 10 out of 10. That feels great, right? And in fact, I think with the tiebreak, I already kind of win the event one round in advance. The only opponent left I need to play is Jeffrey Zhang. And I think he got 9 out of 10. The only person 9 out of 10 to be honest. But I think he already had a pretty not good tiebreak compared to me, you know? It's the main problem. Actually, I realized that my screen is frozen for a little while, which actually is pretty sad. Let me trying to do it here again first actually. And here, so this is the one. But okay, let me try to show you like, okay, the part again. 1 second. Okay, I think here it is now. But okay. Actually, I think I did this going away for one moment. Okay, here, let's move a little bit first. So let me show you like the last part of the game of Hikaru. Since it's like some technical issue, but somehow I think the screen on OBS didn't really crop things. So here, okay, here, right? Here with h4, here again, and then I got lucky here this one, right? When he allowed me to fork him this way, which clearly is super fortunate. If you play like, but this one, as mentioned here, if you can see earlier, if you can hear me earlier, the win now is already pretty tough. In the 7 h4, you queen f2 when his king is weak and I can check him all the time. This is not a walk in the park anymore. Win the game, I win the queen, and then I convert pretty cleanly, allowing no chance to come back. and win the game with double attack at the end. So got lucky, right? But 10 out of 10. We will take that happily. Okay, so last game. We are black here against GM Jeffrey John. So let's go quickly in the game. So in fact, we went for a very famous line in the Italian, but he played e2, which is a bit rarer. But I guess in the game I was doing fine as well. Here, Castles, okay, on main line, I think that's c3. I guess here I can play something like maybe this one or this one or like this one as well. In the game I went for a straightforward way. Takes and f6. The engine has it. Yeah, has it. But somehow I was like, this is like all thing I know, you know. So just went for that. It takes. Could be 3. Bishop here, defend a pawn. A4. E8 here, remove as well. In the game, in fact, I wanted to win too. I mean, 11 or 11 should be so damn cool, right? G5, knight a5. Both of us, in fact, I think want to go for the win. We need 2. Push the pawn here, defend d5. Makes some sense, isn't it? Take here, this here. Should be 3, c4. Bring the knight to the game, obviously. So, g3, show a5. I'll take this pawn as well too. We see 2. This one also defend this diagonal. The engine claimed that the best way to play is h5 to push here as well too. In the game, I guess I just want to play so cautiously, I suppose. I don't even see the thing. Here, rook 7, c4 in the game. The engine claims that the best way to play is rook a1, which I think is a bit inhuman. Normally, you don't want to give 2 rooks for the queen, right? And the 2 rooks is better, seems to be. But I guess that here, so with the bishop pair, and somehow the 2 rooks doesn't have any idea to attack right away. I guess white can better here with best play in the game. So she take right away. Queen d2, queen f5, e1, f7 here as well. Takes, e1, takes, f7. This should be equal, but the game now will steer into huge complication very soon. Very soon. So in the game, queen d2, to the pawn here right away. I guess I can play b5, which may lead to equality. I guess so. Or even here, go for a draw. But in the game, I want to win, right? d3, but now d5. Suddenly, I realized that this is incredibly annoying. The best way to defend is to retreat, like here and here, no? Right now, queen g7, king e8 here, and I can go for, like, let's say this way. Go for, like, some checks here to go for a draw. Which, I can tell you, I don't even look at that. In the game, I make a blunder according to the engine. Queen c3, queen 7, takes here, checks, take the pawn on the pawn, right? In fact, here the engine claimed that the best way to play is queen g6, and white is pawn up. Also, this pawn can become a very strong attack, right? Moreover, my king is weak. Also, he gets some threat as well too. Let's say for instance, right? And now the bishop drops. So this one is not easy at all. The best line here to play is queen d3, when he can just play queen g4, here bishop e3, and c3 just like queen f3, you know. But as mentioned earlier, this thing is not easy to play at all. Like even me don't understand why this one was played. I guess he wanted to play bishop f4, but this kind of thing looks odd to me, to be honest. So in the game, he went for this one, queen g8, d7, e3, defending the pawn here as well, queen d3. So in fact, here in the game, he offered a draw, which I accepted. Somehow the thing here is that it seemed to be a lame game, right? But then I realized some trouble for me. Somehow in the game, I was pretty confident at this point I want to go for the win. But then I was like, I think here and queen d3, when actually I'm doing fine. Take here, I think I'm okay, right? So in fact, this one is not easy to play at all. Like I think this is a type of portion that is very hard to evaluate correctly as well. So in the game, I was pretty happy, but then once it's one right away, I was like, okay, I'm not better at all. Somehow now he defended a pawn. Now he play here as well and check as well, right? So I realized I was not better at all. Queen d3 is my idea here actually if the game continued, but I guess it's just like queen f7, king here, right? d5. Only move, obviously. c5 leads to mate, I think so. Queen here, right? Bishop f4 is mate on the spot. So let's play this one. And here, when obviously this point like here, let's see, right? It should be also completely equal, I guess. But yeah, somehow so the engine even claimed that he can just actually work better with like h4. When c3 is not that scary. As I mentioned earlier, the game got so complicated. So in the game, we have a draw. I decided, so we get 10 half of 11 and 1 time Tuesday. Yes. So, obviously a tough event, right? I got lucky for sure. There were some moments that I think it can go either way. So I guess I am really lucky to win the things. So the entire Tuesday, in fact, this week, I think now it's March 5th, we will play very very soon. Hopefully, doing this can help me to doing well in this event, or at least have a reasonable result. Hopefully you guys enjoy the videos. Hopefully I can be able to repeat this win or this performance later at some point. And thank you guys for hearing me. Hopefully you, compensate for some like technical issues, and obviously hope you enjoy the videos. See you there, and goodbye. Love you. Peace.